All right,
Record me.
so by yourself, everyone say by myself. Okay, you may not consult anyone. I'm gonna give you just 2 minutes. Here's the scenario. Years ago, I don't remember, it's long enough. I used to rent rooms. And when I would turn over rooms, I would buy the cheap office carpet, which comes in square yards, right? Right, and because it's cheaper. Normally the square, it's like $6.95. I run it up to $10 just to make this easier. My actual room is about 11.5 by 9 3/4 feet, but again, I rounded to make this easier. And your job is to get me an estimate for the carpet without tax. You've got 2 minutes, an estimate for the carpet. Show your work, box your answer. Your final answer is money. Okay, you got 2 minutes starting now, go. Yes, I'm not helping. Fabulous, then just work anywhere you want. Yeah. If you're done, work the first problem on page 7. That's a review problem. I'll give you 2 minutes, friends. Honestly, should only take you 1 minute, but we'll see. I'll pretend I'll give you 2. Start. When you're done, work page 7, problem 1. When you're done, work page 7, problem 1.
Video finish. Oh.
Excellent. When you're done, work page 7, problem 1. When you're done, work page 7, problem 1. It's a circle problem, so it should be a review, friends. Remember, I want you to box your answer. All right, box your answer, friends. And swing your boards around and show. Swing your boards around. Do not change your answer. Give me a wild guess. Okay. We got a variety of answers. Got it?
You got.
I've got estimates any ranging from $10 to over $1,000. So ready? Ready? Don't erase anything. Don't erase anything. Ready? Don't erase anything, friends. Just relax. Just relax. Don't erase anything. Ready? Now, here we go. I'd like you to boast to someone what you got correct and explain to someone where you went wrong. Go.
Oh my God.
Okay.
How do you find the area of a rectangle, guys? Length times width. So 12 times 9. Super important. How many square feet are in a square yard? 9. So the area divided by 9.
Dude, I actually knew that.
The 9s cancel, which means you only need 12 yards squared. 12 yards squared needed. 12 times $10, 120.
Yeah.
12 times. Okay, all of you learned something.
That's not how I did it this way.
I don't care. You did the right answer. I'm fine with that. Okay, great.
What if I just?
Erase your boards. If you did not get 120, tell somebody, what did you just learn? Go. What did you just learn? Yeah, the funny thing is, guys, the contractor who gave us the estimate years ago divided by 3 instead of by 9, he did not get hired. Cause his price estimate was 3 times the sugar.
You're just trying to make a quick bag.
Yep, well, obviously not the entire world
He's
knows
always
that you divide by minutes.
to help her with her side hustle.
Absolutely.
That's-
All righty, friends. Ready? Boards under you. Seabass, new seating chart, page 1. We're gonna zoom through this. No, it's not a, if you want to be, I already have it assigned. So take a, Seabass, take a look at the chart. You see where you're at? You're over here if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
See that?
Jude.
Come join the party after you pick up the handouts. All right, put your arms like so. Make a rectangle. Somewhere in 2nd or 3rd grade, you found the area of a rectangle is what times what? Fabulous, that was simple enough. Length times width. Okay, that's your first one, length times width.
Wait.
All right, so we are right here, friends. And yes, it is length times width. But there is another way to do this, length times width. So there would be your length, there would be your width. But there's a right angle here, correct? Okay. The concept of height always makes a right angle. The concept of height always makes a right angle. So another way, this very same thing we can say is just base times height. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have heard that term in rectangle space? Since you've heard that. Height always makes, the word height always makes a right angle. You're going to be memorizing nearly 24 equations. And in those equations, you need to know when you see that lowercase h, height always makes a right angle. Height always makes a what? Right angle. Okay, on that note, put your arms back up. Make a rectangle. Say base times height. Shove it sideways, say base times height. So a parallelogram is simply a rectangle shoved sideways. And so on that note, right here, your base would be something like this, one of the two sides, base. Height always makes a right angle. So you either drop it straight down somewhere in the middle, or you can go off the edge on the outside straight down. That's height, base times height. Let me tell you where SATs and PSATs love to mess with your brain. They give you a squiggle. See squiggle? You squiggle the height, yes or no? You squiggle the height. No, so be careful with that. You don't use squiggle for the H. However, they might not give you the H. They might do this to you. You have a number here and a number here. How would you find the height? Have two sides and a third side back. Hey, that one's free. A lot of you are taking a PSAT next Tuesday. That's just a common gotcha question, so watch out for that. Height always makes a right angle. So parallelogram, base times height. Draw on a diagonal, shade it. So a triangle is how much of a parallelogram? HP, I'm talking, you're not. Thank you, sir. Triangle's just half. See, I'm trying to show you how all these equations relate to each other. Triangle's just half of parallelogram. Let's do this. Go back to rectangle. Rectangle, make a rectangle. Say base times height. Go this way. Say base times height. Make a triangle. Say half base times height. Okay, here you got 3 equations. Ready? And then this one on the right-hand side. Just right here. So here we go. So a triangle is half of base times height. So we usually just write area equals all 3 of these. And half, pop it over 2. Let me show you. I'm going to squiggle the bases. The height gets a little wonky. In an acute triangle, the height is inside the triangle. In an obtuse triangle, the height is outside of the triangle. And in a right triangle, the height is on the side because of that right angle, because height always makes a right angle. So all of those are base times height. 2 more, and we're done. All righty. Back to rectangle. Back to rectangle, guys. Let's get, so ready? We're starting with rectangle. Go like this, say base times height.
Base times height.
Shove it sideways, say base times height.
Base times height.
Make a triangle, say half base times height.
Half base times height.
Okay, ready? Go back to the rectangle, say base times height.
Base times height.
Make a trapezoid. Bring your fingers together.
What row?
Say base times height.
Base times height.
Kinda.
Kinda.
There's a caveat here. Ready? Go like this, make a rectangle. Say base times height.
Base times height.
Make it an angle at trapezoid, say base times height.
Base times height.
Kinda. Let me explain what the kinda is. Kinda. Yeah, it's kinda. So in a, right? In a rectangle, if you were to go like this, here's your base, here's your height, right? But how many different bases does a trap have? 2. It has 2 different bases. Not necessarily, but I can see where you're going. So in order to do base times height, we take the bases and we average them because there's 2 different ones. So you add them, divide by 2, then you times by the height. So you average the bases times the height. So that's where the kind of comes in, because you have 2 different bases. So it's kind of still base times height, but it's average of the bases. Average, add, divide by 2. Yeah. All right. Last one. Ready? Trace the diagonals of both a rhombus and a kite. Just trace the diagonals, physically trace. Those diagonals have something in common. Ask your neighbor, what do they have in common? Go. They have something in common. What do they have in common? When you trace those, there's something in common.
Ooh,
Yes.
form a 90-degree at the center.
Yeah, okay, so put your right angle.
They have diagonals.
And they have diagonals and they make what kind of angles? 90. So they have the same equation, same position, same equation. And this is diagonal, one diagonal times the other one over 2. Technically, we say D1 times D2 over 2. I usually just color code it. Now, quick question. Does a square also have a right angle in the middle? Because a square qualifies as a rhombus. So you could use diagonal times diagonal over 2 for a square as well. Area equals. All right. Ready? Let's go back. Let's recap. Let's make our rectangle. We do this kind of quickly. Ready? Go like this. Say base times height. Shove it sideways. Base times height.
Base times height.
Go like this. Base times height over 2. Ready? Trapezoid. Base times height.
Sorta.
Kind of, sorta. Great. And then go like this, right angle. Diagonal times diagonal over 2. Fabulous. Ready? You have 30 seconds to have all these equations memorized. You may not write anything down right now. You're just staring at them. You're staring at it. You're talking it through. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and then I'm going to require that you write them down from memory. Not yet. Okay. Put your hand at the top two so you can't see them. Okay, this page, you're now looking at it. Ready? Start all of these with area equals because equations have two sides with an equal sign. These last two are both for the square. Ready? And go. Start filling it out from memory. You should be almost done, friends. Okay, ready? And
Great.
check.
Yippee.
Check.
Yes, sir.
Yippee, yippee,
All right. Put a little, check the ones you know, circle the one you forgot so you can remember to go back. Remember, a square qualifies as a rectangle, so it's base times height, they're just side square, but it also qualifies as a rhombus. Sometimes this equation might be better. Just be aware of that. We're gonna do 3 problems. One of them, you're gonna get a shot at extra credit.
Wait, isn't A
What's up?
area equals B times D over 2 the same as area equals B times D over 2 on the left?
Correct. That means this is for the rhombus.
Oh,
That's for the square. Okay, ready? This problem right here, I'm gonna give you guys literally a minute because that's how fast. Step number 1, put your finger right there. Out loud, read, go.
If the base length is 12 centimeters, what is the height?
Ready? Go. You have a minute. Do not say anything out loud. Show your work. Watch out. You may not use a calculator here. Box your answer when you're done. Why? Because it forces me to use that.
Show me your best answer. Show me your best answer. Hey,
No. How about you start by writing your
I'm already done.
Can you literally repeat down, please? Repeat down, please.
area equals base times height.
By foot
Start
feet?
by writing your equation.
That was like this here.
So we start by writing your equation. Go from there.
You already laughed.
Equations have 2 sides with an
You know
equal
what that
sign.
was? Oh, we're supposed to find the area. I already found it.
No.
That's not, that's. All righty, guys, let's take a look here. You guys should have done, you start with equations have 2 sides and an equal sign. So area equals base times height. And then we go like this. Says right here, your base length is 12. Your area is 72 equals 12 times an unknown h. Divide by 12 and your height is what? 6 what? Okay, watch out, folks. If there's units in your problem, there are units in your answer. 3 of you did not include your units. I want you to be so focused on that, that if I don't give you units, I expect you to insert the generic units, the word unit or unit square, depending on the circumstance. You must always account for units, even if they're generic. All right, next problem, next page. Ready? Out loud, read, go.
Find the base centimeters.
All for basic.
Ask yourself what the kind of was.
Oh, shoot.
All right, I did not expect you to finish, so don't panic. But I just want to, you can manage without a calculator quite readily, but I just want to go over, I'm very curious which way you went. There's a couple ways to go here. So step number 1, how many of you at least got this far? You got it set up. You at least got that far. Okay, let me tell you one of the most common mistakes.
Right.
Okay, ready? Look. Do you see like this? There's at least one person who did this most likely. Ready? Look. See that? Watch. Ta-da! Why is that wrong? Ask your neighbor, why is that wrong? What I just did was wrong in the margin.
You also have to do it to the X. You have to do it to the whole top, not just part of the.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, friends. All right, my storyline once again for this, see this is a married couple,
Yeah.
single person. Single people do not mess with married couples in math, okay? Got it. So on that note, this is what we can do. There's one of 2 ways. Watch. Either you distribute the 6 and it looks like this, 4 d2 6x plus 60 over 2. Then you cross multiply. Or watch, I can divide out the 6 completely. And I get 7 equals x plus 10 over 2. Method number 1, method number 2. How many of you were aiming towards method number 1? I'm just kind of curious. How many of you were aiming method number 2?
I was aiming towards.
Okay, go, finish. Yes, cross multiply, finish. Cross multiply, finish. And then, yes, and then show with your fingers, you can show me your answer and I'll tell you if you're correct. Yes, ma'am. Unit. No, check math. Yeah, watch this math. Cross multiply, solve. Check your work.
I messed up.
That's.
Well, you can't give me points.
Oh.
That's what you want to
I
want.
did the
Yeah,
very
that's
first.
right. The first one.
I didn't cross multiply.
Where you at, sir? Something happened.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey.
you're fine, okay, you got it? Yes. Yes. All right, swing around, shove your desk together in your quads.
That's what I got, that's what I got this.
Yes. No.
Oh, wait, no.
Yes. Shove your desk together, go. Shove your desk together. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. This is worth extra credit, a single point. Yeah, single point. Just for clarification, this is X. This is 26. This is 10. Start by reading this out loud. Make sure you actually nail that question. You swing around, shove your desk together. Swing around, shove your desk together, quads, and go.
You gotta do diagonal times diagonal.
Call me over when you're done and you can explain.
Find, things, so it should be, it should be, for right angle, so it's gonna be. We gotta look on X.
Go, friends. Call me over when you're done.
This way.
Yeah.
What is
See the blue?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
You're on a time limit, friends.
Yeah, 16 percent, actually 16. You do, leg, which is. Yeah, you do reverse bags. Because you have two. Yeah. All the sizes ones.
Make sure everybody has all the work.
I didn't actually.
Make sure everybody has all the work.
Yeah, you know, you get.
Oh, crazy. Oh, wait. I told you. 26 times, whatever it's gonna be.
Wonderful. I'll be there to talk to you just a moment. No. Back. Hey. None of that. None of that. None of that. All righty, friends, I'm gonna start coming around and checking. Nick, let me check that. Where's your final answer? One tiny little something. One tiny little something. Talk. One tiny little something. Figure it out. I said tiny little something.
Alright, the problem has been solved.
Really?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Like,
I'll be right there. Okay.
Done.
I'm checking.
I would never lie.
Right. Start breaking away. Next.
You're wrong.
Next.
You're
I'll
done.
check
You got it
next.
wrong.
All right, Frank.
You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Next, I'll be right there, Sue. Be right there. All right, you guys are next. Easy. Final answer, final answer, final answer. Go to my screen, figure out where you dropped the ball. Go. All right.
So what do you got?
There's not even a page 6.
Okay. Good job.
Oh, what do we do?
What happened here? 48.
480.
Okay, good.
48.
Friends,
Why is there 48 there?
Oh,
Yeah,
look.
actually, go 24.
No, look.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
This is
yeah.
the hypo.
You see my screen?
Yeah.
What happened,
Yeah.
friends?
I'm gonna have the 26 of the hypo.
Where's the 40? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, we had to do full diagonal.
Full diagonal. Yeah,
There it is.
got it. So word to the wise, trace the diagonals, trace the diagonals, trace
Yeah,
the
word to the
diagonals,
wise.
trace the diagonals, et cetera. Okay, so write yourself a note so you don't forget. Go, break away. Good job, guys.
Wait.
That's your quicker than